All right, and we're back. Let's continue this. Next page, we are looking at time. It was asking us if it is 1:35 and we're adding 2 hours and 50 minutes, what time will it be then? Quick way to look at this with estimating. 2 hours and 50 minutes is roughly what? Roughly 3 hours, short 10 minutes. We add 3 hours to that, making it 4:35, minus our 10 minutes back, making it 4:25. 4:40 plus 3 hours and 55 minutes. That's only 5 minutes short of 4 hours. So let's add 4 hours, subtract 5 minutes. That would make it 8:40. Subtract the 5 minutes, making it 8:35. Next, we're looking at a protractor. When looking at a protractor and measuring angles, a few things we need to look at. Most importantly, the numbers. We have two sets of numbers here. Inner numbers goes from 0 over here to 180, because a straight line would be 180 degrees. So this side over here goes from 0 on the outer side over to 180. So you need to make sure when you're doing your math, you're lining up which one you're using and using the same number. For example, out here, if we are using the outer numbers, we are looking, that would, on here, between 40 and 50, would be 40 at 45 degrees. Over here, between 150 degrees and between 160, would be 155 degrees. What this is asking you now, determine each angle. It's asking us, what is the measure of this angle? Looking at it, is it acute? Is it right, a perfect 90-degree angle? Or is it obtuse? That's going to give you an idea of the number that it should be within. This one looks obtuse. You can simply take the big number, 155, minus 45 degrees, giving you 110 degrees. This angle, from right here to right here, is equal to 110 degrees. Fact families, fun, rapid fire, quick stuff for you. In here, we're looking at 18 divided by 2 equals 9. 18 divided by 9 equals 2. 9 times 2 equals 18. What's missing? What's missing is 2 times 9 equals 18. All right, let's look at the rules here. What is it asking of us? Determine the amount shaded of the whole. Write your answer as a decimal. Very important, write it as a decimal. Parts of whole can be written as fractions, percents, or decimals. This one is specifically asking us, write it as a decimal. In here, taking a look at the shaded region, parts of a whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are shaded out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total of 5 out of 10 shaded, or 1/2. That's as a fraction. Who wants a decimal? Two different ways you can do this. You can know like this, that is 1/2, which is 0.5, or written as 5/10, or 50 hundredths. Easy way to do that. Numerator and denominator. We're going to take the numerator, put it on the numerator, take the denominator. Decimal goes straight up. In this case, our numerator is 1 divided by 2. Let's get rid of that answer. Get rid of these. We don't need these. it's asking us to find it as a decimal. How many groups of 2 fit into 1? Decimal always comes straight up, goes right there. The answer is 0. You cannot fit 2 groups into 1, or 2 into a group of 1. How many groups of 2 can we fit into the number 10? The answer would be 5, giving you we're getting close to the end here. In this one, this is a little tricky because of a few things. First and foremost, we need to look at the key. This is your key. This guides everything that we will do for these problems. It is letting us know that this is equal to 1 whole. So we know that this equals 1. This is smaller. It is not equal 1. So it's part of a whole or a fraction, but we are going to write it as a decimal. We have 1 whole. We don't have any more whole. We're going to put our decimal in there. Do we have any? This is a group of a lot, 1,000. Do we have any groups of 100? The 100 blocks? No. These are groups of 10 and then groups of 1. So this 0 hundredths or tenths. Reading that number as 1 and 63 thousandths. This is our units, then our decimal. This is our tenths, hundredths, and thousandths column. Here's where they throw you off a little bit. Looking down at number 3. 1 whole is now equal to this 100 block, not to this 1,000 block we were looking at. So this becomes 1, 2, 3 whole. Now we're looking at the next smaller unit. Now that becomes 4 tenths, giving us a grand total of 3 and 43 hundredths. Is this our last page? I think this is. This is our last page. Let's go over a couple here real quick and we will be done. On here it's asking us to look at a number line. Use the number line to answer the questions. Questions 1 and 2 are relating to this number line. Which letter best represents the location of 8 tenths? Not 0.8, 8 tenths. Looking at a number line, we need to have a rough idea of where 8 tenths is. It is less than 1 whole. It's greater than 0. Looking at the 1/2, 8 tenths is greater than 1/2. So it's going to be somewhere in this area. 8 tenths would be right here at C. Number 2, which letter best represents the location of 96 hundredths? That's really close to 1 whole. Because if we were to get to 100 100ths, that would mean 1 whole. So it must be right next to it. All right, that was our test. Go ahead, finish up what you can, submit it online, and stay tuned for more.